Shalom, brothers and sisters. This is Brother Malak from the 12 Tribes United congregation. Today we're going to do a reading of Psalms 119. And Psalms 119 is David praising the Most High for his laws and his commandments. All right. Psalms 119 and 1. Now, if you look at the beginning of Psalms 119, it has the Hebrew letter Aleph. Because it's gonna go into the Hebrews. It has Hebrew words in the chapter. So it says, "Blessed are the undefiled in the way." What does it mean by being undefiled? That means defiled means unclean. So you're clean if you're undefiled, who walk in the law of the Lord. So to be clean is to walk in the law of the Most High. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies and that seek him with his whole heart. The testimonies also deals with the law. They also shall do no iniquity, they walk in his ways. So you will do no iniquity, meaning sin, if you walk in these commandments and these laws. Thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently. The precepts is dealing with the laws. All right. It says, O that my ways were directed to keep thy statutes. The statutes is explaining the law. That's what the statutes is. It's an explanation of the laws in detail. Then shall I not be ashamed when I have respect unto all thy commandments. So we're not going to be ashamed when we respect the Most High's commandments. I will praise thee with uprightness of heart, and when I shall have learned thy righteous judgments. So also we're supposed to deal with the judgments. Uprightness. You have uprightness if you deal with the Most High's judgments. And I will keep thy statutes, O forsake me not utterly. So, David is saying, he's praying to the Most High, saying that, don't forsake him if he keeps the Most High's laws. Now right here at 9, it says the word Beth, meaning the second letter of the Hebrew alphabet. The word Beth means house. 9. Psalms 119 and 9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? So how do a young man clean up his way, clean up his act? By taking heed, therefore, according to thy word. So to clean up our act, if somebody says they want to clean up, is to take heed to the word, what the scriptures say. With my whole heart have I sought thee. So how do you seek the Most High with your whole heart? Oh, let me not wander from thy commandments. So to seek the Most High with your whole heart is to keep the Most High's commandments. Thy words have I hid in mine heart, that I might not sin against thee. So what is sin? The breaking of the commandments. So we're to have the word of the Most High in our heart. Through what? Through the keeping of the commandments. Blessed art thou, O Lord, teach me thy statutes. So David is blessing the Most High and said, teach him what? His statutes. Which the statutes is once again dealing with the law, statutes, and commandments. Which the statutes is explaining the law. Like you may see a law and you really don't know what it means. So the statute will explain it to you. With my lips have I declared all thy judgments of thy mouth. So with our lips we're supposed to be declaring what? The Most High's judgment. What is the judgment? In case you break the law of the Most High. It says, I have rejoiced in the way of thy testimonies, as much as in all thy riches. I will meditate in thy precepts, and have respect unto thy ways. So we're supposed to be thinking about the Most High's precepts. I will delight myself in thy statutes. I will not forget thy word. Now it goes into Gamel. Gamel in Hebrew. This is 119 to 17. Gamel means camel in Hebrew. Deal bountifully with thy servant, that I may live and keep thy word. Open mine eyes, that I may behold wondrous things out of the law. So David was asking the Most High to open his eyes so he can see things out of the law. I am a stranger in the earth. Hide not thy commandments from me. So David is saying, don't hide these commandments from him. Let him see these commandments. My soul breaketh for longing that he hath unto thy judgments at all times. Thou hast rebuked the proud that are cursed, which do err from thy commandments. So if you proud with You're going to err from the commandments. You're going to break the commandments. Princes did also sit and speak against me, but thy servants did meditate in thy statutes. Thy testimonies also are my delight and my counselors. So how do we get counsel? Through these scriptures. Now we're going to go on to the next section. It says, Deleth. My soul cleaveth, 25. Psalms 119 and 25. My soul cleaveth unto the dust. Quicken thou me according to thy word. I have declared my ways, and thou hast heard me, and teach me thy statutes. Make me to understand the way of thy precepts, so that I may talk of thy wondrous works. So to get understanding of the precepts is through the keeping of the commandments. My soul melted for heaviness. Strengthen thou me according to thy word. Remove from me the way of lying, and grant me thy law graciously. So he's asking the Most High to remove the lying out of his heart, the way of lying. I have chosen the way of truth. Thy judgments have I laid before me. I have stuck up thy testimonies, O Lord, put me not to shame. I have stuck unto thy testimonies. I will run the way of the commandments, of thy commandments, when thou shalt enlarge my heart. So this is the way you're supposed to run. You're supposed to run into the commandments. Next Hebrew letter is He. This is all modern Hebrew. This is not the ancient Hebrew, but it's in Psalms 149. So 149 and 33 we're at. Teach me, O Lord, the way of thy statutes, that I may keep it unto the end. So we're supposed to ask the Most High to teach us the way of the statutes. Give me understanding, and I shall keep thy law. Yea, I shall observe it with my own heart, with my whole heart. So we're to get understanding, we have to keep the law and observe it with our whole heart. Make me to go on the path of thy commandments, for therein do I delight. Incline my ear, so we're supposed to delight in the commandments. Incline my ear unto thy testimonies, and not to covetousness. So how do you know about covetousness? By the keeping of the commandments. All right? That's how we know what covenant means. Turn away mine eyes from beholding vanity, and quicken thou me in the way. Establish thy word unto thy servant, which is devoted in thy fear. Establish thy word. Turn me away from reproach, which I fear, for thy judgments are good. Behold, I have longed after thy precepts. Quicken me in thy righteousness. So David is saying that, he's longed for his precepts. Quicken me. Quicken my spirit. The next Hebrew letter this is Psalms 119 to 41. It says VAU, but the real word there is Wa. That's the ancient Hebrew. Let thy mercies come also unto me, O Lord, even thy salvation according to thy word. So if you want mercies and salvation, you have to be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and remembering the judgments. So shall I have wherein to answer him that reproaches me, for I trust in thy word. And take not the word of truth utterly out of my mouth, for I have hoped in thy judgments. So we'd have to take away the word of truth out of our mouth. So shall I keep the law continually forever and ever. So we have to pray to the Most High that He don't take the truth out of our mouth. Because if we take the truth out of our mouth and out of our hearts, we're not going to keep the laws continually. And I will walk at liberty, for I seek thy precepts. And I will speak of thy testimonies also before kings, and will not be ashamed. And I will delight myself in thy commandments, which I have loved. So we're supposed to love the commandments. For my hands will I also lift up unto thy commandments, which I have loved, and I will meditate in thy statutes. The next one is Zain. This is, like I said, this is modern Hebrew. This is Psalms 119 to 49. Remember the word unto thy servant, upon which thou hast caused me to hope. This is my comfort in my affliction, for thy word has quickened me. The proud have also had me greatly in derision, yet have I not declined from thy law. I will remember thy judgments of old, O Lord, and have comforted myself. Or have taken hold of me upon me because of the wicked that forsake thy law. So if you're wicked, that means you forsake the laws of the Most High. That's how you're wicked. The statutes have been my song in the house of my pilgrimage. I have remembered thy name, O Lord, in the night, and have kept thy law. This I had because I kept thy precepts. Next one is Cheth. Psalms 119 and 57. In the ancient Hebrew it says Ka. Thou art my portion, O Lord. I have said that I would keep thy words. I intrigue thy favor with my whole heart. Be merciful unto me according to thy word. I thought on my ways and turned my feet unto thy testimonies. I have made haste and delayed not to keep thy commandments. So were we supposed to be hasty? Not hasty to get angry, not hasty to sin, but hasty to keep the commandments. When the commandment is given to you, you hurry up. You get up and you do it. You don't hesitate. All right? As soon as it's delivered to you, you stop doing what you're doing and you do those commandments. So it's righteousness to be hasty to keep the commandments. Don't be hasty to get angry, hasty in lust, hasty in marriage. The bands of the wicked have robbed me, because I have not forgotten thy law. At midnight I will rise to give thanks unto thee, because of thy righteous judgments. I am a companion of all them that fear him, and of all them that keep thy precepts. The earth, O Lord, is full of thy mercy. Teach me thy statutes. The next Hebrew word that's in Psalms 149 appears as Teth. It's the Psalms 119 and 65. It says, Thou hast dealt well with thy servant, O Lord, according to thy word. Teach me good judgment and knowledge, for I have believed thy commandments. Before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now I have kept thy word. So David asked the Most High to teach him good judgment and knowledge. And he said he was afflicted, but now he's not, because he kept the Most High's word. Thou art good and doest good. Teach me thy statutes. The proud have forged a lie against me, but I will keep thy precepts with my whole heart. Their heart is as fat as grease, but I delight in thy law. It is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. So sometimes you got to go through stuff. You got to be afflicted, because then you're going to learn these commandments. You're going to learn why you got afflicted, and you're going to learn these commandments and turn away from it. The law of thy mouth is better unto me than thousands of good gold and silver. So these laws is better than gold and silver. And right here it says Jod, which is really Yah. Psalms 119 to 73. Thy hands have made me and fashioned me. Give me understanding that I may learn thy commandments. So the Most High is the one who fashioned us. And when you want understanding, get understanding so you can learn the law. And you'll get more understanding once you keep the law. They that fear thee will be glad when they see me, because I have hope in thy word. I know, O Lord, that thy judgments are right, and that thou in faithfulness have afflicted me. Let, I pray thee, thy merciful kindness be for my comfort according to thy word unto thy servant. Let thy tender mercies come unto me, that I may live, for my law is my delight. Let the proud be ashamed, for they dealt perversely with me, without a cause, but I will meditate in thy precepts. 79. Let those that fear thee turn unto me, and those that have known thy testimonies. Let thy heart be sound in thy statutes, that I might not be ashamed. Let my heart be sound. Now it says Kaf, which is really Ka in the Hebrew. My soul fainteth for my salvation, but I hope in the day of thy word. My eyes fail for thy word, saying, Wilt thou comfort me? So to get comforted is by these scriptures. So we stopped off at 119 and 82. I'm going to say shalom, brothers and sisters, and we're going to go have part 2 in a little while. Shalom.